It wasn't the noises that bothered me at first, it was the smell. You know that sickly sweet, rotting smell that hits you out of nowhere and makes your stomach churn? I started noticing it about 2 weeks after I moved into my new apartment. It would come and go, especially at night. I chalked it up to the building being old. Maybe there was a dead rat in the walls or something. But the smell was the least of my worries. One night, I woke up to the sound of scratching. It was faint, but definitely there, like nails scraping against wood. I lay in bed, trying to convince myself it was just the building settling, but the noise kept getting louder, more frantic. It seemed to be coming from the wall right behind my bed. I tried to ignore it, but every night, the scratching would return, growing more persistent. Then came the whispers. It was around 3 a.m. when I first heard them, soft, unintelligible murmurs, like a conversation just out of earshot. At first, I thought it was coming from the apartment next door, but the more I listened, the more certain I became that it was coming from inside my walls. I was officially freaked out, so I called the landlord. He was an older guy, nice enough, but he brushed off my concerns. "Old buildings make noise," he said. "You'll get used to it." He sent someone over to check for animals in the walls, but they found nothing. No rats, no mice, nothing. But the scratching and whispering continued, getting worse each night. I started losing sleep, jumping at every little sound. Then, one night, I decided I'd had enough. I was going to find out what was making those noises. I grabbed a hammer from my toolbox and started banging on the wall where the noises were loudest. I figured if there was something in there, I'd scare it out. But as I pounded on the wall, the scratching stopped completely. For the first time in weeks, there was silence. Relieved, I was about to put the hammer down when I noticed something odd. The wall where I'd been hitting it had a small crack, almost like it had been patched up before. My curiosity got the better of me, so I started chipping away at the plaster. As I peeled back layers, the smell hit me again, stronger this time, almost unbearable. Finally, I broke through to an old wooden panel. Behind it, something was stuffed into the wall cavity. At first, I thought it was just old insulation or maybe a bird's nest. But when I pulled it out, I froze. It was a small, dusty shoe, a child's shoe, covered in dirt and something dark, like dried blood. My heart raced as I reached back into the hole and felt something else, a tiny, brittle bone. I stumbled back, horrified, as the realization hit me. There was someone, inside the walls. I called the police, and they confirmed my worst fear. They found the skeletal remains of a child hidden inside the wall, stuffed in there like some dark secret. The officers said it had probably been there for decades, but they had no idea who the child was or how they got there. I moved out the next day. I couldn't stay in that apartment any longer, not with the knowledge of what had been hidden so close to where I slept. But the worst part? Even after I left, I kept hearing those whispers, soft, desperate, and now, unmistakably clear. "Help me. Please, help me. I haven't slept through the night since."